Okay, so this video is both for Nick and Laramie. Laramie, for you, you obviously don't have any papers that look like this, so you can just watch the video, and then there will be an iExcel skill. I'll put it on Google Classroom that you need to do. Nick, you have a packet that looks like this, or you should by the end of the day today, so I want you to follow along and take notes with me, and then you'll have some homework to do and an iExcel skill to do. Again, that'll all be on Google Classroom for you guys. All right, so we're looking at, these are examples of expressions. So the number 4 can be an expression, 6x can be an expression. X is a variable, and we'll talk more about what that means in a little bit. 6x minus 5 can be an expression, 7 plus 4 can be an expression, and so on. An equation is when two expressions are equal. So basically an equation is whenever there's an equal sign in it, that's an equation. Alright, so we can simplify an expression or an equation by performing operations to combine like terms. So let's look at these ones and do just that. Now, I know it looks confusing when there's letters, but really all you're doing, you can think of these like, think of an N like an apple. I have one N, or I have one apple and 5 apples. How many total do I have? 1 plus 5 is 6. So you would write 6N. Here I have 17 T's plus 1 T, or 17 apples plus 1 apple gives us 18 apples. Here I have 1x plus 245x, that's going to be 246x. Almost seems too simple, right? 9e minus e, so 9e minus 1e gives us 8e. 8c plus c plus c. Don't get confused. If we were thinking of c like apples, I have 8 apples plus 1 apple plus 1 apple, so 8 plus 1 plus 1 gives me 10 c's, or 10 apples. And then 5z minus z minus z. So that'd be like I have 5 apples, take away 1, take away another 1. So that would give me 3z. Pretty simple. Then we're also going to look at problems like this, which these ones don't have any variables in them anymore. They don't have any of those letters. So all you have to know for these ones is you have to do the parentheses first. So I'll write that down for you. Parentheses first. So if you're going to do the parentheses first, look at these parentheses. We have 35 divided by 7. You guys know that 35 divided by 7 is 5. So you can almost just cross this out now. I figured this out. I know that the answer is 5. So then you just finish the problem out. 30 divided by 5, which 30 divided by 5 is 6. Alright, what about this one over here? I do parentheses first, so I do 72 divided by 9 first, which I know is 8. So I can cross this out, don't need it anymore. And I have 8 divided by 4, which 8 divided by 4 is 2. Or what times 4 gets me close to 8 without going over 2? Alright, here I have 32 divided by 8. I know that's 4, so I can cross this out. Ooh, and then I do 80 divided by 4. Now you might know that off the top of your head, but it's not one of your facts that you know very well. So what I would do is go ahead and write out your little division problem, 80 divided by 4. What times 4 gets me close to 8 without going over 2? 2 times 4 is 8, subtract and I get 0. Bring down my 0. What times 4 gets me close to 0 without going over? 0. 0 times 4 is 0, subtract and I get 0. So then your answer, 80 divided by 4, is 20. Alright, let's do one more. Let's do this one here. 9 minus 1 I know is 8. Cross that out. And then I just do 13 minus 8, which is 5. Alright. Then, for problems like these ones, I promise they are not as complicated as they look. Basically, it's saying, okay, I have 49 plus 17 equals something plus 49. What is that something? Well, in problems like this, you can kind of just compare the two sides. These two sides need to end up looking the same because they're equal, right? So we have 49 on this side, we have 49 on this side, we have 17 on this side, so what do we need to have here? 17. It's really as simple as that. You could even put it in the box if you wanted to. 49 plus 17 is the same thing as 17 plus 49. We're going to skip this one. Let's look instead at this one. What times 6 equals 6 times 8? Again, they just need to look the same. We have a 6 here, we have a 6 here, we have an 8 here, so we should have an 8 here. So our little box equals 8. Okay, we're going to cross out these ones, skip those. Okay, let's look here. I have 29 plus 8 equals blank plus 29. So we know that this box is going to be an 8, right? Like I told you, I have 29 on this side, 29 on this side, 8 on this side, and 8 on this side. So now it's just saying, is this box, is 8 equal to 4 plus 2 or 4 times 2? Well, is 8 equal to 4 plus 2? No, that's 6. Is it equal to 4 times 2? Yeah, that's 8. So 4 times 2. A times 14 equals 14 times 15. Okay, well we know that A is going to be 15 then. And when it gives you an A instead of a box, don't be intimidated by that. It means the exact same thing as having a box. So is A, or 15, equal to 5 times 3 or 5 plus 3? 5 times 3. All right, let's move on. Okay, sometimes I'm going to have problems like this, where I go 9 times what is going to give me 144. So again, don't be intimidated by something like this. 9 times what gives me 144. You can actually go ahead and do division, because remember, division is the opposite of multiplication. So I'm going to do 144 divided by 9. 9 times what gives me 144? Well, what times 9 gets me close to 14 without going over 1? Oops, sorry, I'm up here. 1 times 9 is 9. Subtract and I get 5. Bring down my 4. What times 9 gets me close to 54 without going over? 6. 6 times 9 is 54. Subtract and I get 0. So 9 times what gives me 144? 16. Or problems like this one. What plus 170 gives me 200? Something plus 170 is going to give me 200. So 200 minus 170 will give me that answer, which if you do it all out, you would get 30. So S equals 30. So in problems like these, you'll notice when this one's multiplying, to solve it, you divide. You do the opposite. This one's adding. To solve it, you subtract. You do the opposite. So if this one here is dividing, to solve it, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to multiply. So to get 105 divided by what gives me 7, 105 divided by something gives me 7, you can multiply to get that answer. So 105 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35. 0 times 7 is 0. Plus 3 is 3. 1 times 7 is 7. So I have 107 divided by... Ooh, that does not seem right to me. Let me check it. This is the first time I'm going through this, you guys, so... Teachers make mistakes sometimes too, believe it or not. 105 divided by... Yeah, no, that is not correct. What did I do wrong? Oh, I know what. Okay, we'll get to that type of problem another time. You can cross it out. Pretend he doesn't exist. Alright, we could keep going with all this. I know it's kind of overwhelming looking with all of these. Let's look down at a problem like number 30. Remember that I said on the other side that you need to do parentheses first. Parentheses first. So let's do these parentheses first. It doesn't matter which one you choose to do first as long as you do them before this symbol. So 12 minus 5. Let's do 12 minus 5 first, which is 7. and then 12 divided by 6, which is 2. And then you just do 7 minus 2, which is 5. Okay, same thing for here. 23 plus 4, let's do that first. It is 27. 8 minus 5 is 3. So then you do 27 divided by 3, which is going to give you 9. All right, and very last thing, I know there's a lot of information. Very last thing is you need to evaluate each expression. So when it says A equals 4, you're going to plug 4 in wherever it says A. So right here, that becomes a 4. So you remember you do parentheses first. 4 plus 6 gives us 10. And then you do 19 minus 10. So your answer would be 9. Here it tells us A is equal to 10. Actually, I'm going to let us skip this one for now. Here it says B is equal to 3, so you would take the 3 and plug it in for B, so that's a 3. 7 minus 3 is going to give you 4. 8 divided by 4 is going to give you 2. And then you just multiply. Remember that a dot means multiply. 2 times 4 is going to give you 8, so that's your answer for that one. All right, Nick, for you, you are going to be doing all of these problems, which please do not get intimidated. I know that you can do it. Remember when it looks all of like these ones here, you're going to be, just think of like the letter like an apple. So I have 11 apples, I take away 9 apples, how many do I have left? 2 apples. Now you don't just write 2, make sure you write that M, which represents apples. I have 1 apple plus 8 apples. Okay. Here, just make sure you do the parentheses first to solve. Here you're going to be plugging in that letter. So every time there's an R, you put a 2 in. Every time there's a W there, you put a 7 in. Trying to see if there's any that are too challenging, but I think you got it. Okay, and then here you are solving for the box or for n. So remember what that means is you just check the sides and try to make them equal each other. So we have 7 here and we have 7 here. On this side we have 3 plus 2, so what should the box be? Should be the same thing. You could put 3 plus 2, or you could put 5. I would take either as an answer. Same here. You have a 4 and a 4. You have a 9 minus 1 in a box. So you could put 9 minus 1 here, or go ahead and solve it, and that's 8. Okay, I'm just making sure none of these are too hard here. For 29, you just solve this whole side, and that's going to give you n. Same here, you just solve this whole side, and that's going to give you n. And you just solve this whole side, and that's going to give you n. Alright, so I really do think you can do this. There is no back page. There's a little bit of IXL homework for you. You've got this. Let me know if you have any questions.